Gondor was the south kingdom of the Númenóreans in Middle-earth, established soon after the downfall of Númenor by Isildur and his brother Anárion. Before the downfall of Númenor, the region that would become Gondor was home to many Númenórean colonists, who either mingled with the indigenous middlemen, if they were friendly, or dispersed them into Ras Morthil, Dunland, and Druadan Forest. The land on which Gondor was founded was more fertile than the more northerly areas of Middle-earth, and therefore it already had a fairly large population and settlements, including a well-established haven, Pelagia, founded by the faithful Númenóreans in the year 2350 of the Second Age. The refugees from Númenor led by Isildur and Anárion were given a warm reception upon their arrival by those Númenórean colonists. Those north of the river Anduin accepted Elendil's claim to kingship over them, being an heir of the faithful lords of Andúnai. South of the great river, however, there were also newly exiled black Númenóreans, descendants of the king's men of Númenor who opposed the faithful, and therefore did not recognize Elendil's claim. Much of Gondor's early history was marked by conflict with the black Númenóreans. After their arrival and acceptance by the people, Isildur and Anárion put themselves to the task of ordering their realm. Isildur took the place then known as Arnor, later Ithilien, and built the tower of Minas Ithil near Mordor as a threat to the Black Land. And within its walls he planted a seedling of the White Tree of Númenor, that he had taken before its burning. Anárion raised the tower of Minas Arnor on the other side of Anduin's floodplain, as a bulwark against the wild men. In between their cities, the brothers founded Osgiliath, their capital, from which they jointly reigned. These three cities also housed three of the Palantir, the seeing stones the faithful had taken with them from Númenor to maintain contact with Elendil and the other areas under their control. The Dúnedain were at first unaware that Sauron, who had been taken as a prisoner to Númenor before its destruction, had survived the disastrous downfall. However, not long after the kingdom's cities were built, the awakening of the fires of Orodruin signalled his return. At that time, the men of Gondor first called the mountain Amon Amath, or Mount Doom. Soon after, Sauron launched an attack on Minas Ithil, which forced Isildur into retreat. Sauron took the fortress and burnt the white tree that had grown there, but Isildur saved one of its seedlings and took it and his family on a ship down the Anduin. He sailed to the north to confer with Elendil about these events. Anárion remained in Gondor and continued to hold Osgiliath. He also managed to push back Sauron's forces to the mountain range of Ephel-Duath, Mountains of Shadow, but Sauron began to gather reinforcements, among whom were a large number of black Númenóreans, and the men of Gondor knew that their realm was in great danger of being destroyed unless aid came. Elendil reacted to the threat of Sauron by combining forces with Gil-galad the Elven King to make the last alliance of elves and men. Their armies marched southeast from Arnor and Gil-galad's realm of Lindon. Supported by the forces of Gondor, Lorinand, Mirkwood, and the dwarves of Moria, the alliance fought a great battle on the plain of Dagorland north of Mordor. The armies of Elendil and Gil-galad were victorious and entered Mordor itself, where they laid a siege on Sauron's Tower of Barad-dûr for 7 years. During this time, Anárion was killed by a rock thrown from the tower that broke his helm. The siege ended when Sauron himself emerged from Barad-dûr to fight the alliance. Gil-galad and Elendil attacked and destroyed Sauron, though they themselves were slain in the process.